Good evening. Welcome to Hawkeye Tonite. I'm your host, Jenny Hawk. This evening, we've got some really, really entertaining show for you. We've got a guest, and we have a recap of last week's show, which may not be the most positive segment, but we're going to talk about it. And we've also got some very exciting segments. Our guest that we'll get to later is Special Effects Master Eugene Gergis. That's going to be exciting. I've got some really good questions for Eugene. But before we bring out Eugene, we're going to talk about last week's show. We'll do a recap, a bit of a post-mortem, although I really don't like that word. It conjures up, negative elements. But we're going to look back at the same time that we prepare to look forward and to be positive about the future. So, I didn't mention that we're taping live, which means we're running all the way through the show. We're taping the show live. Hi, I assume you're Mr. Gergis, Eugene?
I am.
It's nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
I didn't call you out yet. It wasn't time for you to come out.
I heard my name. I was in the green room.
Yeah, it wasn't. I said your name. I did say your name, but it wasn't time. Do you mind taking the?
I'm sorry. I'm going for a new look.
Right. I mean, unless it's a medical-related issue, then please
no,
put them back on.
No, it's pure vanity. I talked to my stylist, and we're going for like a Bono type thing,
Okay,
Anyway,
that's terrific.
Would you like me to leave?
No, you sit right there, but please don't think me rude. I'm not going to talk to you because I'm going to do my segment that I planned on doing. And it's just kind of as a lesson to any other guest to come out at the right time that you're supposed to come out.
I'm terribly sorry.
No need to be sorry, but you do have to sit quietly, if that's okay.
I can do that.
That would be great. You know what? Let me give you something to do. I have an appearance release form that you can fill out, actually. Do you have a pen?
I do not. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, we'll put this
I can
aside.
peruse the questions and
yeah, you know what?
See how I'm
Look
going to answer
over.
them.
See if you're okay with the legalese found on this.
I might have to contact my lawyer, though.
No. There's going to be no anything because we're going live, and I've got some stuff to get to, and then we'll get to you. How about that?
What do you need my height for?
Oh, for goodness sake. Listen. It's a boilerplate form.
It's your show. It's your show. I'm sorry.
All
what
right.
do I know? I'm just a special effects master.
Yes. And we're going to talk all about that. I'm not going to neglect your area of expertise because that's what we're here to discuss after I discuss the last show. And here's what I wanted to talk about the last show. There were 3 things that occurred to me that I decided to do. Number 1, tighten up the technicals. The technicals were a little rough last time. I got a lot of calls and letters about that, and believe me, nobody knew that better than me, but I was doing the best I could. No excuses, but I see already this week it looks awesome. The title of the show came up. I didn't have to hold it in front of me. That was fantastic. The second thing I decided after seeing last week's show was to stop eating rice. I thought it was a great idea last week, like a few hours before the show, to eat a meal of rice and potatoes to sort of boost my serotonin levels so I'd be feeling real sweet when the show was on, and I just ended up feeling logy, and it just didn't have the intended effect. So that was a mistake, and I'm not going to repeat it. I didn't repeat it tonight. And the third thing was to get some new and fresh bits. So I asked our production staff to give me some ideas for new and fresh bits, 3 ideas, which they gave me on a card because I don't believe in having long, boring meetings or a lot of emails back and forth. I don't have my dream job as a talk show host to sit through boring meetings. So, what did they come up with? Number 1, discuss current events. No, that's boring. I don't like current events. Even if I did have the time to go by the BuzzFeed headquarters over there on Melrose and pick up some whatever people are talking about these days, I'm not interested. It's either depressing or it's like, 10 kittens covered in milk that you can't wait to see or whatever it is, and that's just not my bag. It's not what the show's about. But thanks for the suggestion, production team. Don't stop making suggestions. Number 2, second suggestion, discuss politics, film, this type of thing. I've got to say no to that one as well. Why? Opinions are without value in today's world. Think about it. The only reason you have opinions is so you can differentiate yourself or to define yourself to yourself or to others. There's no reason for it. Opinions should be fluid. The things you care about should change as you learn and grow with life. As the great Ron Bennington said, you should only review the movies that you liked. And then by omission, if you don't see a review, you know that the guy didn't like it, or possibly the person was busy or had a death in the family. But from generally speaking, if they don't review the movie, they didn't like it. And the third suggestion that I was given by my production staff, dance breaks inserted here and there in the show to 8-bit music. I'm going to table that one. That might be something that we think about for another show. I like it. So now we move to a segment that we've done since the beginning of this show called Clearing It Up, where we clear up some things that we might not have the specific expertise to know the answer to. Questions that arise in everyday course of life. And this I'm going to relax my rule that you shouldn't be spoken to because I didn't technically introduce you.
Good, because I was about to order some Chinese food or something.
Oh, you can't do that on this taped live show, but that's
right. You don't eat rice anymore.
That's funny. I stopped eating rice since the last show, and you didn't see me before and after, but you would have said good decision because I was like.
My nutritionist has got me off rice as well.
You have a nutritionist?
I have a stylist, a nutritionist, manager, an accountant.
That's very impressive.
A personal assistant.
The special effects business must be very good.
Let me tell you something. It's very, very lucrative, okay?
Oh.
I mean, you can't just pick up sport jackets like this at JCPenney or something, you know?
It is. I was going to ask you if that was from the JCPenney collection, so I'm glad that you cleared that up.
I wouldn't even drive past the JCPenney, okay?
But that's not the clearing it up that we're going to do. Actually, the clearing it up segment that we're going to do will involve you, and let's introduce that segment. Our next segment is Clearing It Up.
Clearing it up.
Clearing it up. That's great. Wasn't that great?
That was fantastic.
Oh,
you have a fantastic production team working here.
Love it. The technicals are just like lightning. It's
except
fantastic.
for your director, this guy named Ben. I don't know.
Ben is
he was
fantastic.
very rude.
I mean, his job is not director. He's a comedian and a performer.
Oh.
He performs at Second City. He puts sketches up at UCB along with his sometimes writing partner, sometimes acting partner, a guy called Mike Klumpkin, and the two of them are hilarious, which may explain why the directing isn't up to your standards. But look, the graphics are popping. Everything, the technicals are on.
I'll let it slide, okay? I'll let it slide.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Not really.
This is your show. I don't want to.
Exactly.
Okay. Anyway.
You keep saying that, but I don't know if you know that for sure, because you are talking about my director, who is very dear to my heart.
He had his pants off when I walked in here.
I don't think that's true. And if it is, I'm going to have to raise that with human resources. So I think we should forget you ever said anything, because we run a harassment-free workplace here.
Look, I'm going to say one thing. I'll say one thing, and I'll drop it. He had the most disgusting pair of legs I've ever seen in my entire life. He needs to wax or something. I offered to put him in touch with my stylist. He said no.
Do you have a waxist?
I'm looking into getting one, but they're very tough to find. That's a very unique specialty.
Well, how do you expect of someone else something that you yourself are not willing to do? I mean, that's very judgmental.
I'm willing to do it, but I don't take my pants off when I'm just sitting anywhere, okay? Let's get to your segment. I'm so sorry. We didn't come here to talk about your director's ugly, hairy legs, did we?
Let's not... We don't say those kinds of things about each other here. This is a love-filled environment. It's all right. Clearing it up.
Clearing it up.
Tonight's Clearing It Up segment, where does all the lotion go? God bless you. Much better than the guy we had last week with the cell phone ringing. Where does all the lotion go? Now hear me out for a second. You buy your bottle of lotion, you put it on your skin, right? And it disappears, okay? It certainly doesn't go into the atmosphere, because otherwise your apartment would be covered with lotion, right?
Absolutely.
Maybe minuscule amounts, but not material amounts of lotion. It doesn't stay on top of your skin, otherwise we'd keep getting bigger and bigger from all the lotion, and we'd put on like, you know, a quarter of an inch of volume by lotion. That doesn't happen. That's crazy talk, right?
These are very interesting points.
So where does the lotion go? I'll tell you where. It goes into your bloodstream. So think about that when you're buying your 99-cent store super cheapy lotion with like parable methahexylane and whatnot in it.
99 cents.
And I'm not saying, I'm not being snobby and talking about money, because you can use coconut oil or some kind of a mixture. You probably know this from your stylist. Mixture of coconut oil and salt. You can like scrub it up in the shower and have very soft skin, and never have to have disgusting lotion absorbed into your body, because, I mean, if you wouldn't eat it, you probably shouldn't put it on your skin, especially if it's disappearing away into your skin, like bottle of lotion a month, disappearing into yourself. Think about it.
Let me tell you something. I've been off lotion for years.
Off lotion?
Off lotion.
What do you do instead of lotion?
I just I find an aloe field and I just run through it.
Find on your own?
Yes.
How do you have time for this?
Well, I have a personal assistant, and he's the wonderful thing about California is they have just these patches of aloe, and if you really want your skin, let me feel your skin. Okay, this is okay. It's good, but it's not great.
Well, I use copious amounts of lotion constantly.
Well, you shouldn't. I told you need to stop that. Okay.
Yes, I would love. I could free up half an hour to 45 minutes a day.
You want to know why I stopped in the lotion?
Why? Because it's going into your bloodstream.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
Why?
I heard they were testing it on dolphins, and I don't know. I want to use this as kind of a soapbox. It's very true.
How can you? Okay, you know, I'm a sucker for a cause.
Look,
but now that I think about it,
I read it on the internet, and then I looked into it, and it's very true.
What are you doing? Catching dinosaurs and rubbing lotion on it? Or dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs.
What is it you said? Dolphins.
You must have been watching one of the movies that I made special effects for.
It's much more likely that you would test it on dinosaurs than on dolphins, because dolphins are in the water always.
Dinosaurs probably do have drier skin than dolphins.
You know?
But
this
is
a common ailment that we
anymore,
have, especially as women age. Dinosaur skin problem. But anyway, I think we've almost cleared this one up.
Have we? What do we decide? I don't even... where does the lotion...
It goes in your blood. Go through the aloe field.
Right.
And if you can't afford that, then you're just going to have to
That's the beautiful part.
Use natural lotion, natural-based lotions. Like a good motto for that would be, if you wouldn't put it in you, don't put it on you. Right? Can we hashtag monetize
I would copyright that or
whatever. Can we monetize that in some way?
Well,
I'd like to.
I would work on that as
Ben,
soon as you...
can we monetize that in some way? Can you work on that? No meetings about it, but maybe put it on... No? It's a volunteer staff here, so they do an awesome job. I'm not going to criticize them at all, but...
No, they're great. They're fantastic.
Okay, so last week's Clearing It Up, we got a response on this. Somebody cleared it up for us. This response comes to us from Susan Louise from New South Wales, Newcastle, Australia. Some of our fans from down under.
Oh.
And Susan Louise says, let me quickly say what it was, the Clearing It Up, which is, was it Macklemore or Macklemore? Macklemore or Macklemore? I heard it both ways. I wanted to clear it up. Well, Susan Louise said, I believe the artist himself uses the French le pronunciation, oh la la, in saying his name. So neither Macklemore nor Macklemore, but Macklemore. Hope I cleared it up, Jenny. That's what Susan Louise from Australia had to say. Thanks, Susan, for clearing it up. And for that, we have a specially signed autographed book about time travel stories. Somebody was giving away a box of these free on Craigslist, and I think it's so wonderful that people are so nice and generous and lovely. And this is going to be your prize, and I will write something in it. But we don't really have a budget for shipping worldwide to Australia, so if you're ever in the Los Angeles area, please send me an email, hawkeyetonite@gmail.com. You know our Facebook, because this message came to us by Facebook, or tweet at Hawkeye Tonite, and we'll meet for a coffee, and I'll give you your book. I would say in my own defense that when I said the Mac-L'amour, I think that would include the male article in French, but I guess your French is much better than mine, Miss Susan Louise, and probably your English too. All right, so now, don't do that.
Pardon me, I'm sorry.
It's all right, but don't. I mean, you can read after the show. You're going to get one of these books. Spoiler alert, you're going to get one of these books.
And I'm in Los Angeles, so
you just get to walk out with it.
This is great. Okay.
All right. I'm sorry I made you sit there quietly for most of the show, but I do have to be strict about this. You can't have guests coming and going. It has to be a protocol. I'm trying to run a professional show here, and therefore we're going to take a break, and I'm going to ask you politely to step out, and then I will introduce you formally, and then you will enter to music, because we've got those technicals tightened up thanks to our volunteer production staff.
Very exciting.
Okay, get out. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. I think this show's going great, don't you? Thanks. I don't know about this guy in his flip-flops, but we'll see. He could prove to be an interesting guest if he stops talking about his personal grooming and starts talking about something of substance, but we'll see. Hi! Welcome back to the show. Our guest tonight is special effects master Eugene Gergis. Let's bring him out now. Eugene Gergis?
Pleasure.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Please have a seat.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the show.
I'm very happy to be here.
Now, you are a special effects master, I understand.
Yeah, you understand.
I've got a question for you about that.
Let's hope I have an answer.
And this touches on something that we went over last week on the show, which is the prevalence of beards here in Hollywood. And the fact that it used to be, statistically, 2 beards to 8 non-beards amongst the male population, and now it's more like 2 non-beards to 8 beards. That's the statistical common wisdom. So when you do your special effects, like with your super monsters that you do, like a Dracula or a werewolf or a Bigfoot or like a Chupacabra or one of these type of things, if you have an actor with a beard, do you have to put an entire layer of like flesh-colored makeup? And by flesh, I mean any color of flesh, not like flesh-colored crayons, which we all know are racially insensitive, but any color flesh that the person is, to start off with a blank canvas before you can even make them into a monster or other special effect creature?
Well, I'm going to try and say this without insulting you. We have something that men have been doing for ages, and it's called shaving. And if the guy comes in and we need him clean-shaven to play a monster, we got people that'll shave for him, you know.
Well, that's an easy enough answer. That seems to make sense. But
I mean, there are other options. We do have facial putty.
Tell me about the facial putty.
Facial putty just comes in a jar and very thick, almost like a clay, and they'll sit there in the makeup chair, and we'll just rub putty all over their face.
Wow, there's
also spray paint. It's not usually what the way I like to go, but sometimes, you know, low budgets, you got to do what you got to do.
Wow, you really are a master. That's great. And that shaving thing, I guess that was obvious, and I felt bad for a minute, but now I don't, because I can't know
I'm
everything.
sorry.
That's why you're
that was very
expert.
Condescending. I've been talking with my manager,
that's
and she's been telling me to tone that down a little bit. That's my bad. I'm sorry.
Well, I think when you preface something with, I don't want to make you sound stupid, I mean, it's like everyone knows where it's going, which is I'm going to sound stupid.
Yeah, I know this is your show, and I didn't want to.
Not just for shows, but for life in general. Don't judge people. It's not.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't feel nice.
Can I say? I've been divorced 3 times. Okay, and I think my condescension has a lot to do with that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't want to get into it. I shouldn't have brought it up. You have other questions? I'm sorry.
Well, actually, I had something really special to show.
Okay.
If you're up to it.
I am up for it. I came all the way down here, so let's do it.
This is meant to be a very gentle and loving environment, so if I don't want you to feel judged for your marriages or for anything else that's happened in your life. You know? You're good. You're a good guy. You seem like a good guy, and you seem like you know an awful lot about facial putty and special effects, so that's great. And you also know about aloe and stylists and...
Well, I'm from LA, so I know all about that stuff.
So I don't think you have a thing to worry about.
Anything about superficiality, I'm your guy.
Aw, don't say that. Don't judge yourself so harshly. See, maybe that's why you're judging others. You're judging yourself so harshly.
Well, sorry not to. You know, every morning when I get up, I look at myself in the mirror, and I ask myself, what is wrong with you? And I make a list. And every day I do it. I make a list.
No.
And I try to fix those things every day.
Oh goodness. Can I show you something from last week's show?
Yes.
Anytime you feel bad about yourself, you should do a confidence pose. Put your hands on your hips like this and say, I accept myself wholly and unconditionally. Go on.
Hold on a second.
You can do it. Confidence pose. I accept myself.
I accept myself.
Wholly and unconditionally.
Wholly and... Unconditionally.
Doesn't it feel good?
I feel better. I'll try that.
Do it every day.
I'll try that tomorrow morning.
Oh my gosh, you are a sweetheart.
You are a sweetheart.
No, you are.
You are.
This is the best show I've had so far. You should have seen the last guy I had last week. Whoo.
I'll have to check that out.
No, I don't judge people, so I wouldn't say anything
except the guy you had on last week, apparently. But I know.
No, you're right. That was sharp. That was a sharp shot, but it was deserved. You're right.
I did go to college.
I'm dying to talk about what a crap guest that guy was, and I won't, because that's not right.
We can talk about when the show's over with.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Okay, now are we excited for the next thing we have, which is
something
really special? Okay, let me just preface this by saying, this is one of the times that I'm really glad that I had business experience before I came to my dream job as a talk show host. Because when sometimes you need something done, like for example, you need a clip from a major motion picture that is a special effects extravaganza, because you have a special effects master on the show, and you have a staff and you say, hey guys, get the clip, right? Sometimes the inclination of people who are managed by others is to say, oh, help me, and they send a lot of emails and they say like, oh, clearance, or do you have any contacts at the studio? These kinds of subject lines of the emails. I don't believe in a lot of emails back and forth. I think I said this before with the meetings, production meetings, a lot of emails back and forth. It's too boring, and if I wanted to have a boring job, I would work at a boring job. I don't. I have my dream job as a talk show host, and that means no boring meetings and no boring emails. So I make it into an empowerment moment, a make it happen moment, like Oprah has these, she's also a talk show host, Oprah Winfrey. And
I've heard of her.
Yeah, she has aha moments or some other kind of moments, like, anyway, it's a make it happen moment, and you know what? They made it happen. My staff made it happen. The clip is here. It's queued up. It's ready to go. Godzilla, roll the clip, and then we're going to talk all about it.
You gonna be okay, or?
Can we take a short break, please? Do we have a break? Just. I am so embarrassed right now. I mean, after all of the things I said, and to have that, I don't know how I can even go on with this show.
It wasn't that bad.
Oh my god.
I mean...
Coming back in 3, 2.
Welcome back. And I think we can learn an important lesson from that, which is, don't pat yourself on the back too much when you accomplish something. Or when you think you've accomplished something. Don't lord it over people. That's the lesson that we'll take away from that. Guest, can you talk
concept.
about being a special effects master? How special does the effects have to be for you to be called that? Is it only the specialists of effects?
Well, I think, I mean, the effects have to be very, very special. The specialist of special effects. Otherwise, they wouldn't call me a master. And it's a craft that I've been working at for, the last 10, 15 years.
Well, that's wonderful. Congratulations. I see we have 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. I would like to give you some gifts. Namely, this book that I will sign for you, and also a t-shirt of the show, Hawkeye Tonite, limited edition made by me.
Oh.
Thank you very much for being on the show. Special thanks to Yvette Sotelo, who is wonderful, kind, and patient, especially helping me with my technicals because I don't have many technical skills. Comedian and writer Ben Brugger, who can often be found doing improv at Second City or attempting to put up sketches at UCB. Along with comedian Mike Klumpkin, who also does improv and puts up sketches at UCB.
I heard he was really good, that guy.
I think he's really, really funny, but I've never actually seen him myself. We hope to have a live time slot at some point if these taped live shows go well. And I think they're getting better for the most part, on balance, if you count the entire show, including some of the awesome technicals and also my wonderful guest who talks about special effects.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
This was fantastic.
Oh, thank you also to Helluva for Derrida, Guerilla by the Dead Bees Records. Heroin Love by the Great Artiste, also on Dead Bees Records. Thanks, everyone. I hope you tune in for next week. We're getting better every episode. Good night.
Good night. I'm just going. This is a beautiful shirt. This is beautiful.
Thank you. I made it myself.
It looks like it. It looks fantastic.